My name is Hafeestonova, your musical plug, creator of the Eenrgy Froce. I welcome you to the Cha-Cha Hitmaker series on the Cha-Cha Music Review Podcast. The Cha-Cha Hitmaker series is where I get to bring music producers and we talk about everything that goes into making a hit song, those hit songs that you enjoy listening to. We all know the artists. Majority of us know who sang this and who did not sing that. But some of us do not know the magic fingers behind, that song that you're hearing, that person that made Ashaka a hit song, that person that made the video a hit song, that person that made Tiwa Savage a hit song. Some of us do not know them. And this is what this series is all about. Bringing those producers and talking about what they go through in making those hits that you love listening to. And also, there's somebody out there that might be interested in music production that will learn one or two things from this series.
They say music is life, so I give them the Cha-Cha Music Review Podcast. Turned up the volume, gave them the time of their lives. They said they wanted new artists, I gave them the Cha-Cha Spotlight series. They wanted deep music conversations, I plugged them into the Cha-Cha Let's Talk Music series. They are crazy about the hit makers, so I hit them with the Cha-Cha Hitmaker series. And for the albums I know they shouldn't miss, I blessed them with the Cha-Cha Album Review series. I created the Cha-Cha EP compilation series, so they will have a taste of the best of EPs. They should tell their friends. You should let your family know. We should let everyone who cares about African music know. Hafeestonova is back in the game. And you can catch me every Saturday amplifying the African sounds by bringing the best of African music to your ears. I am your musical plug, the creator of the Eenrgy Froce, and this is the Cha-Cha Music Review Podcast.
Today, I have one of the renowned hip-hop music producer in Nigeria. And trust me when I say this producer is one of the best hip-hop producer we have in Nigeria. I remember the first time I heard his production and I was like, ooh, who the hell did that production? Like, that was some, sick-ass production. And ever since then, I've been a fan of the production and I've always, if I see any song that says produced by, this certain producer I'm talking about, I go and download it immediately. So without further ado, let me allow my producer for today to introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is DJ Teckzilla, producer, sound engineer, and I guess writer. So thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for being on the podcast. Let's start with the name. How did you come about the name Teckzilla?
Yeah, it's from a slang from back in the day. Like when you say something is tech, it means the thing is nice, like, it's cool. So I just took the name, and my first name is Temitayo, so it's like the T in it, the letter T. I always have a way of putting like letter T into anything I do. So tech, then I just added the Zilla from Godzilla, because Godzilla is like something big. So I just put the two together and yeah, that's how I got the name.
Okay, that's very much interesting. All right, so take us through your production journey. How would you say production started for you?
It started by, I guess, I won't say accident, but like I was just in the right place at the right time. I used to code from back in the day, doing HTML, all those type of low coding stuff. And the person that used to mentor me knew that I was into hip hop and, making music, like writing raps and all that. But he suggested that I should try a program that he had, which was FL Studio. They used to call it Fruity Loops then. So, and he gave me the program, and since then I've just been making beats, I guess. So it just so happened that one thing led to another, and here I am.
One thing led to another, and then here you are. Somebody introduced you to the software and you started making beats, and then you are where you are today. But at what point, did you decide to say, okay, you know what? I think this is what I'm going to take as my hustle. I want to make a career out of this. At what point did you decide that, and what led, to that decision?
Okay. At the point, I guess was when my group won the Sound City Music Video Award. Prior to that, I've just been doing it for fun. And, after that, I decided to jump right into it by actually going to school to learn sound engineering. I studied sound engineering, and I worked with people in the industry. And it was from then I was just I need to make this. Not I need to, this is something that is, financially viable for me. Was which was around 2010, 2009, 2010-ish. Yeah, it was from there. And I just kept going.
Can you tell us the name of the group? Because you said you won an award in Sound City, right?
Yeah, the Sound City Music Video Award. The name of the group is Straight Butter, and the song is The Last Stand. It was a rap, best rap music video. This was I think 2009 or 2010. They're about, can't remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's actually been a long time. Okay, so if you were to look back and say you started your production professionally, when will you say production started for you professionally?
To be honest, I can't really put my finger on it because I've just been doing it off and on. So I'll say, officially you can say after we won the award, where I was able to, be able to put my foot, stamp my feet in the game. I guess you can say that from 2010 then.
Again, before you became an household name in the music industry in Nigeria and the music production, in Nigeria, what were those things that you would say was some of the challenges you had to probably overcome, or some of the challenges you faced along the way?
That would be access to proper equipment. I think that's the most important thing because, as a producer, you always have to have all this, always have to have the right equipment, proper software, and it was hard getting those things back then because we always had to look for other ways to get them, which is, I can't really say much about it, but always found a way to get them. And of course, financial limitations too, will always hinder you from being able to move ahead with whatever dreams you have. So those are the two main things, lack of access to proper software, hardware, and not being able to, buy those things. Those are the two main things that really, two main hurdles that most people face, most producers face.
Now, let's talk about your production. You've taken us through the journey, how it started, how you stumbled upon it, and all of that. But let's talk about the first full song that you produced. What was the feeling? If we talk to an upcoming artist or even any artist, they will tell you, when they were recording their first song, they were either nervous, they were this, they were that. That's what we know from an artist. But from a producer point of view, what was it like for you to actually produce your first song?
Yeah, it was exciting. The same thing as an artist, it was exciting, taking people to the studio where 6, 7 of us went to the studio. We did 2 songs that I produced, and the entire vibe was very, vibrant. There's so many people, so many voices. And we're kids, so it was fun to us. It was a new thing. So that was how it was. It was just fun. I would say that exciting and fun.
Exciting and fun. Let's talk about for someone that does not understand, the terminology or what, music production entails. What exactly does a music producer do in the recording studio or in a studio?
The music producer is more of it could be ambiguous because depending on who you ask, they might give you something different. But for me, a music producer makes music, composes music, arranges music. He has his hand inside everything from the raw production to the finished product, pretty much from beginning to end, working with the artist directly. They are in the studio, they are coming up with ideas, They're removing things, they're adding different things. That's the work of a music producer. He produces, he brings out the best from the artist from start to finish. That's the work of a music producer.
Okay, so is it safe to say that there is a difference? And if there is, please, can you just explain the difference between a beat maker, a sound engineer? I mean, you've already spoken about, who a producer is, but again, just the little difference between those three, beat maker, sound engineer, and a producer.
Yeah, the thing is, music producer, beat maker, sometimes can be used interchangeably.
Okay.
But a beat maker is someone that just makes beats and sends it to artists to do whatever they want, and is not involved in the recording process and the finished product. It doesn't really have a say. But as a music producer, you are there from beginning to end, and a sound engineer just pretty much mixes everything, which is an entire different job. Although a music producer can be a sound engineer, a beat maker can be a sound engineer. It all depends, but they're all separate jobs.
Okay, so it is safe to say that, beat making, sound engineering, all those stuff are a component that can be under a producer. At the same time, they can also broken into different parts.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Now let's talk about your production. Let's talk about your production process. How do you, create a beat, or how do you produce a song? What are your process like?
Well, process is being inspired by life. I could be inspired by film, other music, inspired by something I watched, inspired by a feeling, or like trying to get like an emotion out. And I usually start with the melody. Back before then, I used to start with the drums, but most times now I like to look for a melody, depending on the type of music. If it's going to be slow, I look for a sad melody to play on, then I'll build. If it's going to be like upbeat, vibrant, I look for like a bright melody and build on it. And it all depends on the type of music I'm trying to make at that moment, So that's just the process. I'm more of I get a melody, get drums, add a little bit of, effects, add some other things, extra instruments, all depending on the genre as well. If it's hip hop, there's a way I go about it. If it's Afrobeats, there's a way I go about it. And if it's reggae, which I've done before, there's a way I go about it. It's similar, but it's kind of like different, and I don't want to get too technical into the way, you arrange things, but it's all about that vibe, just that feeling. Once you get that feeling, you already know what to do.
Now, while you were talking about your, production process, you mentioned about having different vibe. If you are creating hip hop or you are creating Afrobeat, and you even mentioned, reggae. And because, I mean, for me, and I know there might be every other person there too, that might be, listening to this and feel the same way I feel, or probably assume what I'm about to ask. When I hear the name Teckzilla, I always feel it has to be an hip hop song, because that is what I know. Yeah, that is what I know. So the question is, why based on hip hop alone, or that is just what we've been hearing and there are other genres that you do?
I rather be known for one thing, then I can always branch out to other things, as opposed to following everybody else. Like once they hear, like you said, once they hear that name, they always assume it's that thing, which in a way is a good thing, because at least I'm kind of like an ambassador for that genre. But then again, I can always show different sides. You get, so like it gives me an advantage, because I can now present myself to people that might not expect that kind of sound. I'll be able to show them like, look, I can do anything. So in a way, that's my joker. It helps me in many ways when I show people that, yes, I am that versatile.
But why hip hop though?
That's the way I express myself. Like I use hip hop that's what I grew up on, and that was just my the best way for me as a person to express myself was through hip hop until, Afrobeats and those other genres came. Hip hop was just my way of, telling my own story. That's why I just like it. I just like the vibrancy, the energy and the whole culture.
Now let's talk about, those you've worked with. I want you to tell us, some of the artists that you've worked with in the industry, and then which one of them would you say you enjoyed? I'm sure that every artist you've worked with, you must have enjoyed the section with them. But which one would you say, okay, out of all the ones I've done, I think I enjoyed this session more and I vibe more with this person, and why?
Yeah, like you said, I've worked with quite a number of people from Mocheda, KL, Modna, Illbliss, Nedo C. Who was again? There's so many. But for me, it's still the same people that are close to me. There's some two artists that are really close to me. I guess those are the two that I'll say I can work with them forever. Like if I don't work with anybody else, those two I'll work with them, which is the two people I'm talking about is Maka and Phlow. Phlow is a rapper. She was the NSC VS class winner. And Maka is a soul singer. Those two make my life easy. They know what they want. When we get into the studio, everybody is on point. We don't waste time. They already know, hey, this is how we are going to go about it. And it's all lovely. And we always come up with good music.
Now, there are some, music artists whereby they always have this thing in their mind that, if I can feature so artists on my song, then, So as a music producer, who was that first major artist that you worked with, and how was it like knowing that this is the superstar and I'm the one producing this song for this superstar? What was that experience like? And what was that person?
Yeah, I mean, before I put the names out, it was I guess you can say exciting as well. Like hearing someone that you listen to rapping on or doing something on your beat. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like the first two people were rappers that I worked with was Mode 9 and Illbliss. But unfortunately, I was not in the studio with them when they did the song, but it was just good. Just hearing their voices on my beat back then. So that was how that feeling is. Just like the people I used to listen to, the people I looked up to, they're now, working with me. So you can't change that. The first time you hear it, you always feel that, like, yes, like I'm almost there. I almost made it. So, like, I'm there. I'm on my way. And over time, I guess, after a while, it becomes normal. As with everything in life, like the first time you hear it, the second time, like when I worked with Victoria Kimani, I worked with Price. The band's brother, what's his name? K Switch. Yeah, worked with him. So it becomes, not that I'm looking down on those things, but it becomes normal, like it's a job. After a while, it doesn't faze you anymore. It's just like, yes, I'm happy to be here. I'm working and I'm doing my thing and I'm, making progress. So that's it.
There's this trend that is currently going on, I think it's something we are becoming to see more. Music producers now turning to a full-fledged, artist, and some of them even getting signed, to record label. And when you were introducing yourself in the beginning, you mentioned that you are a DJ, Yep. So is there a time that we are going to see Teckzilla go from being a DJ to a sound engineer, from a producer, then we now see Teckzilla the rapper, then you now become a full-blown rapper, or you're okay with your production, then maybe once in a while, you can be dropping some few things, or it's just going to be street production for you?
It's going to be strictly production and DJing. Those are the two main things. Although I help artists, I can write for artists. That's another thing. But rapping, I'm retired. I retired way before I even started. Because you have to give people opportunities. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have to give people opportunities. So at least I can lend my help in different ways by working with young talents and giving them that opportunity to do their thing. So that's all you're going to hear from me: DJing, producing. That's it.
Okay, DJing, producing. All right, no problem. Now let's do this for people that are listening and they might probably be interested in becoming, a music producer just like yourself, aspiring music producers like yourself. Now, what are those things that you can tell them in terms of, okay, if you want to start music production, these are some of the certain things that you must know or you must do that will guide them, in their career?
There's so many things. I can sit there all day and talk about it, but to be honest, for you to get into this game, you just need to know yourself. That's number one rule. Know yourself, know why you're getting into it. Try to learn. Don't be closed-minded. Always be open to learn new things from new people, young and old, it doesn't matter. Anywhere you go, just keep your mind open, like, yeah, I'm here to learn. Even if you think you know everything, there's always something new. You can always learn from people. So that's one of the major keys I would give people, like, be willing to learn so you can get better. Be yourself. Don't try to copy. At the beginning, yes, you can always, imitate and emulate people, other people you look up to. But after a while, you need to find your sound. At the end of it all, find your sound, be yourself, be open to learning new things, and be consistent. That's another one. Be consistent at everything you do. Don't, even if you fail, just keep on going. Find the energy, keep on going.
In terms of production softwares that they can probably lay their hand on and try, which one would you say, which three, or would you describe to say, these are like, it's going to be easy? Nothing is easy, but it's simplified enough for them to lay their hand on and get it.
Yeah, everyone uses FL Studio, so get your hands on FL Studio, get your hands on Logic, and you can always try Reaper as well. REAPER is another software that is pretty much free, and you can always pay for it at a later date. When you start making that money, you can always pay for it. But those are the three main programs I will recommend for people: FL Studio, Logic, and Reaper.
Okay. Now you mentioned something that I just want to touch on. You said when you start making that money, right? Can you remember what it felt like the first time somebody paid you for music production?
Yeah, I do remember that well. I remember that very well. Very, very well. It was amazing. It was everything was online anyway, I'm making beats here and there, and the guy contacted, said, I liked what I was doing, blah, blah, blah. Like I was working on something, even shot a video for it. The guy is a rapper in the US. And, he reached out and, we signed papers, we did contracts. I sent it, went back, I thought, okay, change this, I did that. And he sent the money and I saw the money and I was happy.
All right, no problem. Now, like you mentioned, you've worked with the likes of Mocheda, Mod9, Nerusi, Illbliss, but are there still some, artists in the industry that you're looking like, I must still make song for this person, I must still make song for that person?
Definitely, yeah, and definitely. Shout out to Olamide. I need to work with Olamide. I need to work with Burna Boy, Tiwa Savage. There are other people too, but those are my first people I need to, grab first.
Now let's leave, the music aside. Let's leave the music aside and let's, try and get a bit, personal now. So outside music, outside production, outside DJing and anything that has to do with sound and music, who is Teckzilla? Who is Teckzilla?
I guess you can say is a multi hyphenated human being. I'm into different things. I'm actually a trained analytical chemist. I'm a coder, UI UX designer, and what else? I'm a martial artist. What
Black
else?
belt
I'm a
or yellow belt?
What? Black belt? Yellow belt? I can't remember last time I wore yellow belts. In fact, like some of the other martial arts I do, they don't even give us belts. Like when we do Wing Chun, they don't give us belts. So I do different. Taekwondo, I did karate, I do taekwondo with Wing Chun. I did another one, Wushu Kwan. So I'm just mixing everything up. It's just learning.
Yeah, you mentioned that you're an analytical chemist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does that entail?
I mean, the name says it all. Analyze. We pretty much take products, and we analyze it, using different methods. Like we have different methods of checking the integrity of things. So I'm pretty much you can call my role is more of a quality control type thing. I work in a lab. It could be NAFDAC too, NAFDAC have agents where they go to different companies like food companies, food manufacturers, and will test their product to see if it's up to standard. There's a standard in every country, like the food must have so and so nutrients, blah, blah, blah. So we try to regulate that by going to different companies. It could be food company, it could be a manufacturing company, it could be anything, it could be oil, it could be anything that is being manufactured pretty much as quality control department. And most of them tend to have analytical chemists that work there. So that's just the role.
Will you say you are more of a sports person or more of a movie person?
I think I'm more of a movie person, funny enough. I watch sports sparingly. I used to watch football back in the day, football and basketball, but I don't really watch them. I just check out the highlights for now. So I'm more of a movie person, you can say that. Movie, yeah.
We've spoken a lot about your musical production and your journey and everything. And just to try to round everything up, is there any new project that you're working with at the moment, or is there something that you're about to do that we should be watching out for?
Yeah. I'm working on a number of projects. We just finished working on a project with Mode 9 and Maka. Maka is the singer. Mode 9 produced some songs, and I was the recording engineer and the sound engineer for the project. So we're working on that. I finished another project with Maka and Big Foods. And I'm working on yet another project with Maka and Phlow. It's like an R&B hip-hop album. It's like a mixture of R&B, soul, hip-hop, neo-soul type stuff, and Afrobeats as well. And I'll probably be putting out an Afrobeats instrumental album later on as well. So I'm always working. There's so many things in pipeline. Hopefully everybody will get to hear it and, see it as well,
Okay. All right. No problem. Let's assume for the fast rising artists that are listening and they want to work with you, how accessible are you to them? Then the second one is for aspiring, producers that might say, okay, I want to learn, from you. How accessible are they also to you?
I'm pretty much accessible to anybody, but it's a matter of scheduling because I'm always busy. I'm always working, doing one thing or the other. So the few people that can catch me, and if they are serious, we will definitely work. But unfortunately, I can't attend to everybody. It's impossible. I can't because I'm trying to pay the bills as well. So if I'm giving all my time to people, I won't get anything done because I have work as well. You get so. But for the most part, I'm pretty much accessible. People can reach me on Twitter, Instagram, and all depends on how serious they are. We can definitely work. And if they're not serious, well, nothing will happen. As for producers, though, I don't think I've mentored anybody. That's the thing is, I think that one is harder because there's so many. It takes a lot of time, and time time is never enough. Time is never enough. A couple of people have reached out to me regarding like internship and stuff, but I just don't have the time. Like I don't have enough time to teach them whatever I have in my head. But hopefully something might come out soon. Something might free up. Maybe I'll do a master class or something. Who knows? Let's see how it goes.
Now, final question for the day is going to be, if you are to make a hit song, what is that secret ingredient that you're going to add or that you're going to put?
Oh, wow. I think I'll just put myself in it. I mean, when I say myself, not like literally myself, but more like put my signature into it. There's really no, how do I call it? There's no secret ingredient. I think most of the hit songs are just, how do I call it? They are as natural as they can be, if you get what I mean. Like they flow easy, catchy, something you can easily memorize, something that is like melodious. So yeah, that's it.
Have you ever had that moment where you want to make a song and like maybe while you are making the song or in the process of making the song, you go like, this song will enter, it must enter.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, certain times you can feel it. yeah, trust me. All producers will tell you that certain times that like, nah, this one, sure, like this one, nothing. You get, and other times is the one that you won't even expect that people will now like. There are certain times that I'll put out like songs and everything, and the one that I'm not even really into, as one that people now be like, that one. I'll be like, what happened? So you can't really gauge, But at the end of the day, just be yourself and enjoy it. As I always tell people, never stress it.
All right. Thank you very much once again for being, on the podcast. I really, really do, appreciate. Is there any final word to, the listeners right now? Any final word?
Yes, please follow me on IG, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Teckzilla, Teckzilla 108. And yeah, stream my music. Let the numbers go up. That's it.
All right, no problem. I mean, definitely. By the show notes of this episode, I'm going to, attach all your streaming platforms so that people can go, check out your music and all of that. Once again, thank you very much for being on the podcast. I really, really do appreciate.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have come to the end of another episode of the Cha-Cha Hitmaker series. It's like you're married with another episode. My name will always remain Hafeestonova, your musical plug, creator of the Eenrgy Froce. Remember, keep the energy, keep it 100, and keep it positive. Peace out.
Time for the Cha-Cha gang. Give me the Cha-Cha gang. Rockin' with the best, the Cha-Cha gang. Give me the Cha-Cha gang. Alayela with Cha-Cha gang. Give me the Cha-Cha gang. What's my body, Cha-Cha gang. Give me the Cha-Cha gang. Cha-Cha gang. What's my god?